Hello, I'm Mark Armstrong and I will be running through a demonstration of ACVue, our wallboard and reporting solution for Amazon Connect. ACVue is browser-based software delivered from the cloud. It allows an unlimited number of user profiles to be set up, which will restrict access both at feature level and also organisational level. So for example, a team leader can be restricted just to view the information pertaining to their actual team. The policies allocated when a user logs in with the username and password, or the software does also support AD authentication. The dashboard gives a visual representation of performance of both queues and agents within the queues. Each different user of ACVue can define exactly the layout of this dashboard. Here you can see we've got the agent status showing the number of available agents. Filters can be applied directly to the dashboard. So for example, here I could select out specific queues or employees. I can even select out the different status that I want to view on that. It's possible to generate full reports directly from these dashboards. So for example, here, if I wanted to run a report on an individual agent, I simply click on there, and from clicking on the agent there, we can produce this report which shows the presence for the individual user. You can see the time they logged in, when they logged out, the duration online and duration on call. So you can see as a percentage of their activity, the actual on call hasn't been particularly high, and underneath in the table you can see a full breakdown of all of the activity. When we produce these ad hoc reports, we can either send them via email or export them in PDF, Excel or Word format. If we scroll through to the end of the report, we can also see a summary of performance there on each of the different sessions. Here we can see a total of 14 calls and the on-call duration of 33 minutes there. That functionality is applicable to all of these dashboards where full reports can be generated. They're also very dynamic. So for example, here on the inbound call handling, if we want to see just some missed calls, we can deselect answers. Top destinations show the outbound dialing and the location of the outbound dialing. Again, same functionality. You can even select or deselect anything that's skewing the chart there, and the full report can be generated, for example, here on the 4 calls going to Cirencester. Call statistics shows both inbound and outbound call volumes in hourly intervals throughout the day. There's 15 incoming calls. Present statistics shows the number of available online agents throughout the day. The inbound call summary showing the call handling for each of the individual agents. With the tabular based dashboards, it's possible to change the sorting. So for example, if I wanted to see who has the highest average talk duration, I can change it to the sorting on that particular column. Other dashboards available include the call details and outbound dials. Again, same functionality is applicable here. So if I wanted to get a full report on a specific employee, I can simply click on that employee and get that full report generated. It is possible to view the real-time wallboards in a full screen mode. So for example, here you can see inbound performance. Filters can be applied to these wallboards. So for example, here I can filter either on queue or employee. You can see here as well, I'm viewing the last 24 hours, but even that's configurable if required. So here we've got the agents logged on, the available agents, historically the number of answered calls, missed calls. Currently there's no active calls in this particular queue and no calls in queue. The average queue time and longest call waiting shows an historical representation of the queue performance. You can see that there's now a call in queue. As that call is answered, you can see there's now one active call and the call has been removed from the queue. This tile-based wallboard would be typically put up on a wall-based monitor. One final thing to say on the dashboard is it is possible for users to continue configuring it to their requirements. Now, of course, each time you log into ACVue, you don't want to have to go through the process of configuring the dashboard. So it is possible to save individual layouts and then load layouts for your different requirements throughout the day. So if you wanted to change it to a pre-saved layout that you've done, you simply select that. Moving on to the reporting side of the software, there's really two key areas. So we've got the report builder, which is where you can apply filters to a report, and then the report designer, which is where you can actually define the format of the report. So if we take a look first at the report builder, you can see there in the center is where you apply filters. So if you want to run a report on a specific day or time, calls with a certain ring duration or high ring time, this is where you apply the filters. What it will mean is when you run the report, it's going to display exactly the information that you require. Moving down, you can see further filters on maybe employees, location, the specific queues. We can apply all of this filtering. So once you've defined and built the filter, you've got three options. You can either generate the report on an ad hoc basis, you can schedule the reports to run automatically with a user-defined frequency, whether that's daily, weekly, monthly, hourly. It's down to users to actually define that. The scheduled reports are typically delivered via email, and the report format can either be Excel, PDF, or Word format. The third option is to save it as a template. So really what organizations do using ACVue is build up a library of relevant report templates. So on a day-to-day usage, certainly from the reporting side, if you do want to create an ad hoc report, you don't really want to go into this report builder. So a user will simply go to their templates, and here you can see some templates that I've created. So in the ACVue, I've created a report that I've called BQ summary, which is basic queue summary. I can then, as before, either generate or schedule them to run. So if I just simply generate this report, you can see it's produced there on the page. These summary reports have got click-through reporting capabilities, but in addition to that, using the report builder, you could add further levels of sorting. So if I open up this report now, you can see the first level, it's been sorted by ACVue. If I select out a second level being the, let's say, the employee, so I'm going to group it then by the employee, I can save that again as a template. This time I'll call it BQ summary by employee. Go back to my templates. Again, this is what I'm going to be doing on a day-to-day basis, opening the templates. And now within the ACVue, you can see the BQ summary by employee. And if I generate that now, you can see it's effectively the same report, but it's drilled down to the next level. You can see all the agents that are actually assigned to that queue. Again, we can export, send this via email. What you can see as well is the specific fields. Now this is a format that I've designed myself using the report designer. So if I open up the report designer to show quickly, there's a basic queue summary, which is that format, and you can see the different fields in there. The way that I do that is by actually dragging and dropping the fields over that I want to report on, and then defining some parameters. So if we just take out, for example, the average ring time, I can go in and see the parameters for that field. Here it's I've put in the aggregation method as being the average, so it's going to show the average ring time. But in addition to that, you can apply further conditions. So, for example, maybe I want to define a field with a specific ring time range. Here you can see I can entirely define that ring time range myself, so it might be 0 to 11 seconds, whatever it may be. I can define it, save it, change the description there. So what that really shows is the user-driven nature of the solution. It's down to users to define exactly the format of the reporting. In a nutshell, that is an overview demonstration of ACVue. I hope you've seen what a feature-rich solution it is, which will really enhance your usage of Amazon Connect. The correct usage will reduce call handling time, improve agent and queue productivity, and really Just ensure the correct allocation of resources. Further to that, you will be able to see trends in call patterns. All of these will ultimately lead to an increase in customer satisfaction. We do offer a free of charge 30-day trial, so please get in touch if you'd like to see firsthand the suitability of ACVue for your organisation, details of which can be seen here.